Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Possible. I think Lamont Roach is a good fighter, so he better shut up and stay focused.
Yeah, I think right now, yeah, Shakur the only fight that I think that can really give him that challenge, just because, you know, he got very high IQ, great defense.
I think it's unfortunate that we rush to judgment. Case in point, Ortiz Madrimov. There's people who think Madrimov is going to destroy Ortiz. Nobody can name any of his other fights. It's only because he put on a good performance against Terrence Crawford. We'll name his best one. We rush to judgment, throw away everything Ortiz did in his tooth and nail fight with Boachuk, and we rush to Madrimov being this Gene Tunney. Wait a minute. Let's see. The jury is still out. Let's see him against Ortiz. Let's see. So Shakur has the worst performance ever from a high-level fighter against De Los Santos. All of a sudden, he's a boring fighter. Him against Artem, he didn't knock him out, but it was a good performance. It's just that that rush to judgment, he's already tagged as a boring fighter. And I'm going to make the case that he was hurt. He was fighting with one hand. And it's not an excuse, it's a reason.
In the world of boxing, rivalries often ignite fierce debates. And the brewing tension between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson is no exception following Stevenson's recent victory over Josh Padley. Davis took to Twitter dismissively tweeting LOL, suggesting that he believes Stevenson is overrated and not a real threat. This reaction has sparked a flurry of discussions among fans and analysts alike.
Shakur, obviously, Tank Davis is the name on everyone's lips. Eddie Hearn spoke about it. Tank tweeted tonight, LOL, during the mid-rounds. What do you make of that?
That's what he's supposed to do. He got to do that, but once again, he got to fight next week, right? So let's see. Let's see what he do. He fighting Lamont Roach next week. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight.
Do you think Lamont Roach could beat Tank Davis next week?
I think, yes. I think it's possible. I think Lamont Roach is a good fighter, so he better shut up and stay focused.
What's the conversations been like with Turkey LL Sheikh about that Gervonta Tank Davis fight? Because Eddie says he wants to make it.
Turkey want to make the fight too. I think that once again it's the biggest fight in boxing. He won it, I won it. Now it's all up to Tank.
Last one from me. Terrence Crawford said you're like his little brother, and he's so proud of you tonight. What does it mean to you hearing that from Terrence?
It means everything. Like I said, I'm an elite level fighter. I'm on the highest skill level, and I got my brothers coming here support me. I could listen to him a little bit more because he know what he's talking about. So I appreciate him and I thank him for coming.
Shakur, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Davis's comments reflect his frustration with the hype surrounding Stevenson, especially since he hasn't yet fought at 135 pounds.
When Tank ever linked up in the ring?
Yeah, we sparred before.
Can we ever expect a fight?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to be one of the biggest fights in the world.
No cap.
I feel like how they talking about Earl and Bud Crawford, I feel like me and Tank going to be basically 2.0 of that.
Yeah.
Probably even bigger than that. So
that Earl and Bud. Who you got?
I think it's a great fight. I ain't going to pick no winner. I'm forever rocking with Bud regardless, though. So I want to sit there as a fan. But at the end of the day, you got to realize, too, like with Earl, people don't know. Earl showed me like a lot of love since I done came out the amateurs. I'm trying to stay out of that. I'm trying to be more so the person that just watch as a fan and just watch how the fight go and just sit there, you know, enjoy the fight.
He pointed out that Stevenson has yet to demonstrate knockout power, even at lower weight classes, questioning why he's being hailed as one of the best. How can you be considered the best when you haven't fought at 135 yet?
I'm just going to say to you now, true warrior spirit tonight. Taking this on such short notice, a lack of preparation, but then now you know the levels in terms of if you want to achieve the ultimate goal in this. But the fighter in you, I could only imagine, is probably a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Obviously, I would like to have stayed in there a little bit longer, but conditioning wasn't quite there to body, and they were taking the toll, as you can probably see. Wouldn't have liked to have gone down to some of them, but not quite at that level yet, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
You know what? Sometimes there's no shame in terms of saying that you can just learn from this, because it's always a journey. So I'm just going to say to you, ultimately. The important question I asked you before was you going to achieve greatness tonight? It was a lot of variables for you to kind of control in terms of the changes, the new arena, all the rest of it. But when you reflect, Shakur, are you happy? That's what I want to ask you first.
Oh, I'm very happy. The name of the game in boxing is hit and don't get hit. I'm a master of it. I didn't get hit, and I hit the guy more than he hit me. So it was a great performance for me. I'm happy with it. There's probably some people that's going to critique and say this and say that, but shut up, I got it done, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
So actually more, just one word. You gonna come back here? This is a new home? You gonna make this a home as well?
Yeah, I love Saudi Arabia. I love the energy here. I love the fans. Everybody treated me well, and it was an amazing time for me.
Appreciate the work tonight, man.
Davis challenged, emphasizing that boxing is about more than just technique. It's about the ability to take a hit and respond. Meanwhile, Stevenson has expressed admiration for Saudi Arabia, where he recently fought, praising the investment in boxing and the opportunities it presents. He hinted at the possibility of a future bout with Davis taking place in the region, which is rapidly becoming a hub for high-profile fights.
Shakur, that's what all boxing fans saying right now. Even though Shakur Stevenson did get TKO stoppage after getting his hand surgery, he did hurt Padley with a body shot earlier in the fight. In the 9th round, after again catching Padley to the body, Padley's corner threw in the towel. Shakur Stevenson is polarizing. Professional athletes, the top boxers today, stay on Shakur's side, saying that he is great. His technique and abilities is just on another level. On the other side, we have fans who are just not satisfied with his style, not fan-friendly fighter. I could agree to that. When Shakur lets his hands go, he does land. He's accurate. He is great. But what is he gonna do from now on? Is he gonna continue being stubborn and do what he does and see what he gets him? Or he gives fans what they're asking for by being more aggressive, by getting stoppages? There's Gervonta Davis, Keyshawn Davis, there's Loma Ch.
Because Shakur Stevenson is that difficult. Because of his style, because of his abilities, because of his eyes, because of his, his legs, that his hand speed, the way that he controls range. Tank Davis is the only guy that I can see that could possibly decipher that style and beat Shakur Stevenson.
I love Saudi Arabia. The energy here is amazing, Stevenson said, clearly eager to continue his career in such a vibrant environment. Despite the ongoing war of words, Stevenson remains focused on his upcoming fight against Lamont Roach Jr. He even controversially suggested that Roach could defeat Davis, a statement that raised eyebrows among boxing experts who generally favor Davis in that matchup.
But lie on me the whole time. Him and his dad and his people lied on me the entire build-up. So no, I'll probably never give that kid an opportunity.
And you said that you're putting your money on Lamont Roach. But if Tank gets the victory, is that the obvious fight that's going to be next?
Yeah, it's the two best fighters in boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis is a hell of a fighter. I keep telling y'all he got great skills, but I'm better than him. I'm better than him at hit and don't be hit, and he can't beat me.
Was it a bit frustrating tonight with Padley just not being willing to play ball?
Nah, it ain't frustrating. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. He was supposed to come in here, give it his all, make sure that he make it to the 12th round. That's what he was trying to do. So I succeeded at my job, and he tried to do his job.
I imagine that Tank was tweeting LOL because it took you so long to get rid of him, but you didn't prepare for him. Did you have any idea how he was going to fight or what his style would be before the first bell rang?
Nah, I actually really ain't watch him that much, but once again, Tank's style, he's a power puncher. He's a guy that's trying to knock you out. I'm a guy that's trying to break you down, pick you apart, win. If the knockout comes, it comes. So two different styles, but I'm better than him at the art of boxing.
And obviously, you and Tank have your disses here and there, but you kind of alluded to it a couple of seconds ago. Is there deep down respect for each other?
I got respect for his game. I don't got respect for the person. I think he's a clown.
Hey,
How can you make that fight happen, Shakur?
Turkey got all the money, so put the biggest fight on. I mean, let's negotiate. I think both of us can make a lot of money, and I'm ready to make it happen.
It's evident that Stevenson is keen to get under Davis's skin, using every opportunity to provoke him and build anticipation for a potential showdown. As the boxing community buzzes with excitement over a potential Davis-Stevenson clash, the stakes continue to rise.
Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. Who wins and how? Now let me tell you, but first hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to get to 10k. So this is one of the fights that everybody wants to see next, especially after the way that Tank dealt with Frank Martin. Now personally, if this happened, I do think that Tank would just have a little bit too much for Shakur Stevenson. Now why do I think this? Well, it goes down to who both guys have been in with previously. I do think that Tank has been in there with a higher caliber of opponent than Shakur Stevenson, and Tank has been knocking these guys out as well, whereas Shakur has been getting unanimous decisions. Just behind me you can see Tank Davis's last few fights. So you got Frank Martin at the top, arguably his best win. Ryan Garcia, arguably his second best win. Hector Garcia, who is a very, very good talent. Rolly Romero, who, yes, okay, Rolly's getting clowned a bit at the minute. But Rolly, in my opinion, still is an okay fighter. Yes, he's not quite world level, but on his night, Rolly can be difficult for anybody. And then at the bottom, you've got a guy who's getting a lot of traction at the minute. You've got Isaac Cruz, or better known as Pitbull Cruz. A lot of people have said that Pitbull could potentially go on to unify his division, and Tank's already beat him. And then right at the bottom, you've got old man Mario Barrios, who again is a tricky night for anybody. When we compare that to Shakur Stevenson's last few fights, it doesn't quite marry up. Now this has actually clipped out a lot of the fighters. You've got Yoshido on there, you've got Cohen Chow on there. Just at the bottom, probably Shakur's best performance, which is unanimous decision win against Oscar Valdez. And then other than that, you've probably got Herring, which is the next best win.
Both fighters are at the top of their game, and a matchup between them promises to be a true test of skill, speed, and strategy.
Shakur Stevenson defeats Josh Padley in the 8th round after dropping him 3 times and his team throwing in the white towel to end the fight. Now, it was a very good performance by Shakur Stevenson, but I don't know if I'm just a hater or I don't like the guy, but I didn't like the fight. I thought that Shakur Stevenson could have put out Padley a lot earlier. I understand that Shakur Stevenson is a patient fighter and he likes to take his time and he likes to pick his punches very, very carefully, but I think having a Padley that took this fight on Tuesday was a very good opportunity for you to show us, the whole boxing community, the whole world, that you can knock somebody out, and he had that opportunity and I feel like he just didn't take it. So for me, it's just kind of a bad taste. Again, I don't know if I'm just a hater or a lot of other people feel this way, so I'm curious to know if you think that Shakur Stevenson could have done better.
I got to make sure that I'm on top of my game because there's a lot of great fighters in the division. Even though I think the division was overrated because they wasn't fighting each other. But now that they fighting each other, there's a lot of great fighters, and I got to be on top of my A game.
With anticipation building, fans are left wondering when this dream fight will finally materialize. The rivalry between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson is heating up, and the boxing world is eagerly awaiting their showdown.
Some of your 135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at... He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30, or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you... All that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you going to get hit. What you gonna do when you get
Will Stevenson prove his doubters wrong, or will Davis solidify his status as the top lightweight?
So recently, Terrence Crawford had an interview when he was asked the question, who you got in this fight, Shakur or Tank? And he basically said he think that Tank can't beat Shakur, and Tank knows it because that Shakur is not going to get touched. He has too much defense for Tank and all of this shit. And damn near compared Shakur to fucking Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to say this. Shakur, I do think you got skills. And I'm going to just say it, bruh. You are not a fucking Floyd Mayweather. We're talking about fucking Floyd Money Mayweather. The Philly Shuffle. Nigga, you can't touch him. Hey, you ain't touching him. It's over. It's Floyd Mayweather. Don't get this man pumped up and get him popped out here, bruh. Because that's what you're doing. You go have that man go in the ring with Tank and think that he Macho Man, goddamn Terminator, and he go get his motherfucking lights cut off like he ain't paid a bill. That motherfucker Tank, at the end of the day, you know how many niggas he fought that got defense? And he tore their ass down? Like, if we speaking facts right now, bruh, yes, it's a lot of niggas that probably is quicker than Tank and some more shit. The thing is, it's like the way he hit you, like if you get hit by Tank, bro, I'm not gonna lie, the right way, you're going to sleep. I don't give a fuck if you Muhammad Ali, you're going to bed. Bro, I just watched a video. He just did a private boxing, like, you know, a sparring thing where he let people come and watch him fucking train. The trainer who he fucking doing pads with, he knocked this nigga elbow out the socket. Come on, bro. Like, his shit hanging. He knocked his elbow out the socket. I'm telling you. Y'all keep pumping this nigga. Bro, I'm telling you, out of everybody that we keep matching Tank with, Shakur gonna get it the worst. Because everybody pumping him up. You got your own mans. You got Terrence Crawford talking about, yeah, he got defense like Mayweather. Boy, he go get his ass barbecued in that ring. Not even cooked, go get his ass barbecued. I can see it right now. Ding, ding. Got a little smirk on his face. Think shit funny. Tank walk his goofy ass down. Like, y'all keep playing like this man ain't really walking niggas down low-key. Like, in the ring, like, stretching shit. You know how many niggas just done seen backflip in the air? That's how you know it's over. You get the backflip over top of you, you cooked.
Only time will tell, but fans are ready for an unforgettable fight. Stay tuned for updates.
That you trained to do? No, you're going to do those things. But you got to do them with that style. You got to do them at the highest level. And you got to do them where people say, at the end of the day, you know what? I appreciate it. It's kind of like somebody, you know, they like rock and roll. But then one day they go to the opera. You get them to finally go in there. And they hear that. They hear that. The angels singing. And they say, not bad. It didn't give me earaches. It didn't shake the walls the way I'm used to getting the walls shaking and get me going crazy. But it did something for me. He can do something for you if you can just let him fight the best guys and appreciate that.
This is one of the craziest reasons to pull out a fight ever. So this weekend we've got the biggest card ever, the best card ever, but one of the fights is off. It is Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield. Now, yes, it probably is the weakest fight on the card, but it's still a little bit disappointing. However, the excuse from Floyd Schofield, or maybe not the excuse, maybe the reason from Floyd Schofield is that he got ill, but the rumours are circulating that he actually got poisoned. Apparently there's leaked text messages out there saying that he got poisoned. Now guys, what is more likely? That he got poisoned or that he just mucked up his weight cut? Because you've got to do a check weigh-in for these fights, and check weigh-ins are a separate video altogether, but they're ridiculous. But I just think he's more likely just fucked that up than being poisoned. That's the kind of excuse I used to come up with at school or when I was working in ASDA. At school, I would say, I'm sorry I was late and I was in a car crash. And then I'd be like, oh my God, are you okay? And you wouldn't get in trouble. And then at Asda's, when I used to make pizzas and I couldn't be bothered going, I would just say my gran died or a family member had died. The amount of grans and granddads that passed away during that time was unbelievable. This is kind of what I think might have happened here. He knows if he doesn't make weight and he mucks this up, which he probably has, he's never getting on a Turkey Alley sheet card again. He's never making that kind of money again. So he's like, right, what can we do? Let's say I've been poisoned. That way, I cannot get in trouble, and then I get another shot at being on one of these big, massive cards. But what do you think? Let me know. Did he get poisoned, or did he just muck up his weight cut? Pat.